Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristin.
And this is why I'm watching Teen Wolf Season 4, Episode 2.
117.
117. I felt a little weird going on that tangent. I always forget
that they really lean
into the Kate being a predator thing. I always think that it's mostly implied.
Yeah.
No. And no, it is fully said.
She kissed him on the mouth in this episode. As a manipulation tactic.
Yeah. So.
What's wrong?
I don't know about this.
Come on, we talked about this.
How do you know?
Because you told me. Don't you remember? Tell me if you remember this.
I forgot they leaned into it.
Adult woman! Okay, so I found on it's like teenwolfpack.fandom.com. So it's like, because the Teen Wolf wiki was like not as helpful with dates and stuff. Okay. According to this, when season 1 starts, he is around 25 years old. At that point, he has been living with his older sister Laura in New York for roughly 6 years, from the time of the fire until she comes back first, I guess, and then he comes back when she's been murdered, which is how the show opens. So the house was set on fire when he was roughly 19, but there then is the implication that he's been fooling around with Kate, or she's been fooling around to get information on the Hales and infiltrate for several years at that point. So yes, like 15-year-old Derek would know Kate.
Okay.
But I have not then looked at Kate's age yet.
I think they did that for coverage because I remember thinking, well, maybe it's just because it was Tyler Hoechlin's age was 23.
According to this, she is like only 27 or 28 in season 1. Which means that their age gap is only 2 to 3 years, which is way less bad. But Jill Wagner kissed a child in this episode, and that's my problem with it. Adult woman Jill Wagner, because that's the thing too. It's like, even for like, I guess she's never in a flashback with baby Derek, is she?
No.
Okay, it maybe would help me if they had ever cast a young Kate. But it's like only ever Jill Wagner. And I think that's maybe the issue. Yeah. So. Zoinks.
Well, I'm trying. So Kate is after the Triskelion.
Because she needs focus for her shift.
She needs to learn how to shift. Yeah. Because we touched on it. She is a Jaguar. They pull the Kanema logic where it's like, if you get turned by a werewolf, you'll turn into a werewolf. Unless you're built different, in which case you turn into whatever
kind of
vibes.
Anything. Which I suppose, is that why Malia is a coyote, or is hers genetic? Was she born? She was... Because of Marisol Nichols, she was born.
We haven't met Marisol, so I don't remember. I don't remember that part.
Okay. Well, but she's the product. I mean, I guess that's a spoiler. Regardless.
We glossed over it a little bit in last week's conversation, but so Kate was turned by Peter's claws, and the Calaveras heard about it, and so they came to check on her to make sure, and there was a flashback to the scene in the morgue in which they found that she was, like, dead, but healing, or mostly dead, or
she
something.
Had claws.
Yeah, and so they basically swapped out the bodies, and the funeral that we saw was just an empty casket. I guess now's as good a time as any. I think I might have said it in the previous episode, but I always thought she should have been a vampire. I thought that she had such a unique, and they really grounded it here. Her Jaguar makeup looks more
spots.
Yeah, and it looks more like the bones in her face. Kind of. She has like a ridge. The first shot that we see of her at the end of 3B, it looks like lace.
Yeah.
And I just always. I understand because Teen Wolf, and especially at the time, 2011 to 2017, I guess is when it ran, but 2011, they were adamant that they were not going to do vampires because vampires were huge, all the rage, and we were kind of at the end of the vampire craze with like Twilight and all that. True Blood, there was a lot. And I mean, I get that distinction, and I definitely get wanting to establish that you're not just jumping on the trend.
Yeah.
However, it feels like a slight blind spot in the mythos of the show. Sure. I just feel like there would be vampires in this reality.
Well, yeah, because
And-
there's banshees, there's a lot of other things, so.
And I feel like it would have really suited
Sure.
Kate, and that way, the fact that she did die, it would have been part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I really, really wish that, because this is like, this season especially, the show goes in a direction, and this is where I can pinpoint a very what I would have done and what they did do
Sure.
thing. And so that's kind of the fracture point for me. I'm not going to harp on it.
Yeah.
This is sort of my manifesto on it, but that's my 2 cents there. So she needed Derek to be little because she needed to go back to a point where he trusted her so that she could get his Triskelion, because that's what he used, or what he was attempting to use to control his ship.
Okay.
powers.
So I love the moment with Peter where he's like, yeah, except it didn't work for Derek. Like, I had to teach him to just, like, be angry, and that's what worked. It's like, so it's like she's basically, it's like a toy. She's done all of this to, like, try
For
to
Dumbo's
secure
feather.
yeah, exactly. It's so funny to me.
But she's not in on the 117.
I don't believe so.
I don't remember if she is. So as of now,
I don't
she's
believe
not.
so, because I'm with you. I don't remember if that's the case, but also I just, like, love when Peter was like,
Not to underestimate my own cognitive faculties, but we're not exactly brain trusted geniuses here. Then maybe we should call one.
Peter's the smartest one.
that's true. I totally agree, because he's just, after they
That
steal,
bag of geniuses.
Yeah.
Peter, Malia, and Scott.
after they steal those bearer bonds at the end of this episode, which is hysterical that they're keeping their money in bearer bonds.
What is it?
It's like a marker
Traveler's
for
check.
money, kind of. He just is like, this was a heist. It's like, and so I'm just like, you're just like assuming that Kate's involved when we're like not certain that that's true. Especially
Mhm.
since she ran away and she seemed very bummed that the Triskelion was nothing.
And spooked.
And spooked, yeah.
So, but the berserkers were working for her.
Maybe to like
Maybe.
keep them distracted.
We're
I think the berserkers are working for the benefactor.
We haven't gotten
we haven't
that
gotten
word
there
yet, but that ends up being a factor.
yeah.
A benefactor.
Yeah.
Beautiful benefactress.
Congratulations! You've each earned a beautiful benefactress badge.
Because he was baby Derek, he didn't recognize anybody.
Yeah.
And because they brought him to Deaton. Deaton and Lydia were with him. There's a truly upsetting scene where he sees them
With through his eyes.
through his
Yeah.
alpha eyes, and they look like demons.
Yeah.
Derek, are you alright?
I think that scares me every time. Demons. It's terrifying.
It's pretty, and I love too that Deaton is like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Good luck.
Good luck, babe.
Yeah.
And so he tries to go home, and they have properly dealt with the Hale house now because they
Yeah.
did not bring that set from Georgia
Yeah.
to California.
What?
That plot of land is this big.
Yeah. The foundation for this grand house. Yeah.
It always reminded me of the scene in Robin Hood Men in Tights when they take his house.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
there's just that look
Uh-huh.
with blinking.
Let's go, boys!
We got Parrish back,
Mhm.
and we have Lou Ferrigno Jr. I did not catch his name.
Detective Haig. I don't know. It's a GH at the end. I'm not sure how you want
Okay.
it.
It's fun.
Hey, dumbass. You ever hear of no trespassing?
This is my house.
Nobody's been here for years, kid. Now get the hell out of here.
Pig, maybe a slightly gentler touch. Are you all right?
Where's my family? Where's my mother?
All right, let's go, now.
We kind of like legacy people, especially if, like, I guess Nepo babies is the
I'm fine.
proper term,
If
but
you earn your keep, I'm fine.
I don't feel, and this is Teen Wolf, I don't feel like
He's also, I sort of enjoy looking at him. He's got such a big face, and I'm very predisposed to enjoy him because, spoiler alert for anybody watching 911, he is now dating Buck, who when we used to cover it, were convinced was bisexual, and now he officially is,
Mhm.
and they're dating. So I've seen him on my Tumblr dash for like weeks and weeks now.
As I recall, I feel like they don't do a lot with him, and I feel like it was a little bit of a missed opportunity, but we'll have to see. I kind of love Parrish. I don't have a very specific reason. I think Ryan is very cute, and I think he's very sweet, and he's still so skinny at this point,
Yeah.
because he gets jacked.
So jacked.
Like, but yeah, and then we had a truly hilarious and truly Teen Wolf moment where Sheriff
Sure.
Stilinski comes in
Oh my
and
God.
they're looking at the like rap sheet
Yeah.
of Derek.
You say Hale?
Lyndon Ashby is such an asset to this
so
show.
Good.
He does like a quadruple.
He does. He
take. Like,
keeps
he just
looking.
keeps going back and forth.
And then I love that his only comment is
I'll handle this.
to the other two deputies.
Have you been time traveling?
So good. And honest to God, the line read of that is up there with Book Club isn't real. It's so good.
What's so funny because it's like, no, of course not. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what else would he think?
Well, Styles' explanation too. It's like, no, we found him in this like tunnel system under this church in Mexico that was built on top of Aztec blah 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 blah. And he's like, you told me you were camping. He's like, yeah, in Mexico. So funny.
They do that a lot. And then we did get the return of fan favorite bit, Cousin Miguel.
Do I talk to you?
No.
Good.
Fine.
Just gonna talk to him.
Ow! Are you getting taller?
What are you guys doing here?
Waiting for Scott.
So am I. We're supposed to have dinner. I brought extra. You guys hungry?
Yeah.
No, we're not hungry.
No, I'm starving.
Neither of us are hungry. Thanks, though.
Okay. Well, if you're not hungry, Styles, your friend can still eat with us. What's your name?
Miguel. It's my cousin Miguel. From Mexico.
¿Es usted un natural de México, Miguel?
Oh my god.
No soy nativo.
He said, "Oh my God."
Pasé un montón de tiempo ahí.
Fantastic. Egg roll?
Hell yeah.
I actually love how deep rooted Steric is in
Yeah.
their DNA. Because again, this is still teen Derek who does not know any of these people.
Yeah.
And yet he's delighting in putting Styles kind
Through
of
the
through the ringer.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we didn't get enough of him, but I don't know.
Baby Derek?
Yeah.
I could have used more.
It's probably best to leave him wanting more than to overstay the welcome.
I mean, it's probably best not to let any more opportunities for an adult woman to make out with him, too. Also, just...
And the way she comes into that room.
How'd she get in there?
Kate?
Hey, handsome.
Ah! You're an
A long
adult
time.
woman!
Longer than you think.
Yeah.
And then the, like, climbing out the window.
Oh my god, yeah. That's a good shot. It's a good shot. But making full eye contact with Styles.
Oops.
Yeah. I should also note that as of this recording, these episodes are basically 10 years old. 10 full years. So we're like right on the anniversary, which I think is fun.
Yeah,
And also sad.
because I left your wedding and went to Jen's
And watch Teen Wolf.
and watched the first episode of Teen Wolf.
That's true, yeah. And today is my anniversary, and season 4 began on the 23rd. So that's hilarious.
We got some more Lydia and Kira friendship stuff.
Yeah.
Remember how we were in the club and you and Scott were tied up to electrify cables?
Vividly.
If my hand was on the dial connected to you,
Would I be angry?
yeah.
No. Because I knew you had no choice. Exactly like Scott knows. And if you're worried about him, just remember, you're a katana-wielding badass kitsune. And he couldn't be more into you.
As I recall, they do a fine job with that. I think I remember still wanting a little bit more, But it's not a hangout show.
No.
And that makes the moments where they do hang out.
And Lydia isn't ever like cold or standoffish, but you can kind of, there's sort of something in there where it's like, I don't need another best friend. Like, I had a best friend and I'm cool.
Yeah, well, oh, okay. I'll take that.
Again,
I don't know.
Nothing's ever like put out there, but that's just kind of.
Well, I remember there being a little bit of a Saved by the Bell, the new class, like a new class, and,
Sure.
And she's definitely has seniority.
Yeah.
But I do love, considering how weird the Banshee powers are, my favorite is when, like, I hate whenever they're trying to, like, when they grab her by the arms and they're like, Banshee, do it now! Yeah. I like when it seeps in, like how she pulls over with Kira in the car and she goes to get gas and there's the thing with the credit cards and all that, and then Kira's like,
Hey, it looks like you have a full tank.
I actually
Lydia?
like how they do that.
Yeah. Like she's just compelled to.
It happens a lot where.
But it's not overt in any way. That outfit, Kira, what are we doing here?
You're picking up where Rachel left off. Because I like Lydia's 90s Lisa Loeb dress.
Oh, yeah, with the boots. That's amazing.
She's like already just tuned in.
To the death scene. Yeah.
And I really love when they do that, when it's a fake out for even us, the audience. And I think that works. This is that weird season where everybody has money trouble for this season and this scene only.
Yeah, Styles clocked the second notice for the Eichen House bill.
We got the comment from Kira about the credit cards. Does that mean you have good credit or bad credit? The McCall house is seemingly
Leaking.
in shambles.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate the instinct. And
also, Raphael's sleeping on the couch. I'm like, I know there's a spare bedroom upstairs.
Well, we don't ever see it. It's the weirdest design.
Okay,
because there's that
like,
hallway.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, like, there's a bedroom and a bedroom right across from me, like Scott's bedroom, and then another bedroom right across, and then down the hallway is where Melissa sleeps.
There's just not, though. There should be one. There's not a door across from
Is
Scott's
there really
door.
not a door?
Well, then anytime I'm certain I'm wrong, so I'm not going to.
No, you might be right. I just like.
It's just a weird, like.
Okay.
Because it's one of the few times where I'm like, oh, you guys.
This is
didn't
a
even
set.
try.
Yeah.
But no, I really appreciate the instinct. I think given the timing that it feels so contained to just this season, and also it's all of them because we haven't even gotten to Lydia's lake house.
Yeah.
I think it does ring a little hollow, but we'll see. We'll see how we get there. We touched on it, but basically the Hales have a bunker.
Vault.
A vault under the Beacon Hills sign.
The Beacon Hills High School sign. It's not just the Beacon Hills. I think it's so fun because like Kate even is like, why did you build a vault under the high school? And Derek is like, well, it was a vault first, and then they built it over top, and like that's fine or whatever. But like, I just think it's so funny, given how little they go to school. Even though there is a school scene in this episode, given how little that school matters and how little they go to school, it's so funny that they're like inventing reasons to have to go. Maybe just the set's there because it's already like everything's already there and built for that. But like, it's funny. Like, why would it not be underneath the Hale house?
Yeah.
Or
just, what in Beacon Hills cavernous warehouse district.
Just as good as the Sunnydale one.
But yeah, it's where they keep, I think, a lot of things.
Lots of trinkets and things, and then
like a gallery.
Yeah, there was like a safe with the bearer bonds in it. I assume there's like other like trophies and stuff down there.
And then someone came in and stole the bearer bonds
with boots and a long coat,
$117 million worth, and Peter was pissed.
He was pissed, but he also was just sort of like defeated about it.
It is a little bit like, man, I made it this far.
Yeah.
So, they fought some berserkers. We got Derek back.
The moment in the classroom was really funny with Malia and the highlighters and stuff.
Malia.
It's so good. And then I always love beats like this where it's like Scott's phone goes off and the teacher, Mr. Yukamura, is like phone's off, and then Stiles' phone goes off, and he's like, phone's off, and then another phone goes off, and he's like, how many times do I have to tell you? And Kira's like, that's your phone. I love stuff like that. It's so good.
Well, but it was Lydia trying to get a hold of Scott. So.
And then, so the text message to the teacher is, Scott, call Lydia.
I mean, he knows.
Yeah,
He's in on it,
true.
so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was our conversation about the second episode, about episode 117.
Yep.
And we'll be back.
Bye.